the Crystal Rock became a proving ground for local bands, and many of them were given the opportunity to play on its stage, complete with draping red velvet curtains. Friday nights were set aside for teen dances and Saturdays for adults. After a few years running the ballroom, the Leduas took note of the roller skating craze gripping the nation. They had a big hall with a nice wooden floor, and so they began using the venue as a roller rink. People of all ages flocked to the Rock for a night of skating, and its popularity as a hangout for Northwoods young folks grew. Frank was known to get on skates once in a while, but it was Pat who became an avid skater, organizing roller skating clubs for area youth. For the Leduas, Crystal Rock was a venue first, a skating rink second, and so they hosted hundreds of weddings, charity balls, and events of all kinds. In the mid-60s, Frank and Pat decided their time with the Rock had come to an end. In 1965, Oscar and Barb Johnson of Rhinelander purchased Crystal Rock. The Johnsons continued the traditions the Leduas had began, using the venue for events, music performances, and roller skating. In September of 1976, Dave Buksick from Neenah, Wisconsin purchased Crystal Rock. Dave had been operating roller rinks in the Fox Valley for many years, and when the opportunity came up for him to purchase Crystal Rock near Rhinelander, he moved his family to the Northwoods. Dave and his wife Marvel were accomplished skaters, performing roller skating stunt shows which involved Marvel hanging from Dave's neck by her feet as he swung her around. With a match held between her teeth, Dave would swing Marvel toward the ground so that the match would light when it scraped the floor. Under the Buksick's ownership, Crystal Rock focused more on the roller skating first and as an event venue second. They taught skating and hosted the Jerry Lewis Skate-a-thon among other events. As Dave and Marvel's son Mike got older, he began to manage the Crystal Rock while they snowbirded in Florida. Mike and his wife Doris took over ownership of the Rock in 1990. During the decades the ballroom was open, its use as a venue for weddings, dances, and other events was constant. But the popularity of roller skating waxed and waned, and so business as a roller rink was up and down. Mike and Doris continued having live music, even hosting a Buddy Holly reunion show in later years, with a Buddy Holly impersonator. Former Cricket's guitar player Tommy Alsop also came for the performance. Other notable musicians that performed during the Buksick era included Eddie Raven and country legend George Strait. As the years passed, maintaining the aging venue became increasingly challenging, leading to the Buksick's decision to focus solely on operating the bar in 2009. Despite efforts to preserve it, the inevitable decline of the building became apparent. As is the case for many historic structures, the reasons for their demise are numerous, nuanced, and never simple. For owner Mike Buksick, who had spent much of his life at Crystal Rock, it was hard to see the end draw near. In 2019, after years of service to the community, Crystal Rock faced its final chapter. Having been up for sale for several years, one last estate sale was held on the old wooden dance floor, and the property was sold to Louis Barbara. Barbara intended to use the building as a storage rental space. That winter, as the snow piled up on the old arched roof, the Crystal Rock could bear the weight of time no longer. In the late hours of Saturday, February 1st, 2020, the fabulous Crystal Rock, iconic ballroom of the Northwoods, collapsed, leaving behind a legacy etched in the memories of those who frequented its hall. Over the next few days, the Northwoods community mourned its loss and reminisced about its past. For over 6 decades, Crystal Rock encapsulated the culture of small-town America. Starting in the late 50s and into the new millennia, Crystal Rock witnessed many changes, from clothing and hairstyles to cars and music. The Crystal Rock Ballroom holds a special place in Northwoods history, and even though the building is gone, the memories made and shared there will last forever. I'm Kerry Bladorn, and this is Connecting the Dots, reliving Northwoods history on Newswatch 12. Connecting the Dots, reliving Northwoods history with Kerry Bladorn. Thank you for watching Connecting the Dots, reliving Northwoods history. If you have some history you'd like to see covered on the program, send me a message on my Facebook page, Kerry Bladorn, Northwoods Historian, or shoot me an email at northwoodshistorian@gmail.com.